Hi everyone, welcome. I'm Tomasz Pawlik, and today I'm hosting a conversation about one of the biggest pain points for the crypto companies. Banking. With me is Maciej Grzegorczyk from KHG Law Firm, and our guest is Sandra Rituma from MagnetiQ Bank. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
The plan is simple.
Our special guest, yeah, it's quite rare on the crypto channel to have someone from a bank.
The plan is simple. Together with Maciej, I will ask Sandra what banking crypto companies looks like from the inside, what the bank actually needs, how risk is assessed, and what a strong onboarding package looks like. Then Maciej will compare that to what we typically see in the Poland, the expectation of Polish banks, the common blockers, and the practical steps founders can take to improve their chances. Okay, a quick disclaimer. This is for educational purpose only, not legal or financial advices, and we will stay away from any confidential client information. Sandra, thank you for joining us. Let's start with a short intro. What do you do at MagnetiQ Bank, and how would you describe your bank's approach to crypto-related businesses? And it's MagnetiQ or MagnetiQ Bank?
It's actually MagnetiQ with a Q at the end. So hello everyone again. Yes, I'm currently a board member in the MagnetiQ Bank, and I'm responsible for AML, compliance, legal, and also e-commerce risks. So this is what I do. And our approach to the crypto is that we're a crypto-friendly bank, meaning that we are working and we would like to continue working with the crypto companies. This decision we made some time ago, like a couple of years ago, when where discussions about MiCA license started, and we decided that basically what we saw also on the market, that not all the banks would like to work with the crypto. And we realized that this is something where we could go. And we had internal trainings, we had external trainings with the with the crypto experts about the crypto risks, about the compliance issues, and etc. So we could understand the risks and also discuss with the Bank of Latvia in order to kind of have crypto companies in our portfolio.
You are muted, Maciej. By the way, you said a crypto-friendly bank. It's really rare in this world. What does crypto-friendly mean in practice at your bank?
So we basically discussed with the Bank of Latvia that at the moment we can provide on-ramp and off-ramp services for the crypto companies and also crypto acquiring, which means that basically we do work with crypto. We serve crypto exchanges. Currently also CASPs are coming to us for the segregated accounts for the customers, because they have to have segregated accounts, and you have to need to have a bank for that. So that's what we are also providing. Same as I mentioned, the on-ramp and off-ramp, still you need to have this connection because between the traditional finance, which is basically us, and the crypto world. So we are providing this middle ground between both worlds.
Okay, internally, was there any opposition to deal with crypto sector, or all of board of members, etc.? They were on that new role, new side.
I would say that all the board members decided that yes, we can do that. Definitely, there are concerns, and they were concerns initially a lot about how we're gonna do that. Do we understand all the risks? Is there any risks in general? Because maybe a little bit of the prehistory. So we are working with the fintech industry already for a while, which is like different electronic money institution, payment service providers. So we have a knowledge how to work with the basically financial institutions, and then we decided, okay, let's do the training. Let's take external advisors who could perform those trainings. Let's take the blockchain analytical tools. Let's understand how it's going to be, like how we should evaluate transactions and everything else. And at the end, it was like, we basically.
And currently, do you set up accounts only for companies with MiCA authorization, with VASP, or they can act as VASP, or can they be just individuals who like to just send money to crypto companies?
So we are working only B2B. We are not, basically we're serving companies, but if you want to exchange as an individual, for example, we have a company that conducts exchange. And then you as an individual, you can place via our bank to that exchange, but we are not touching crypto per se. So it's only done by our customer.
Okay.
So your service is only for the companies right now?
Yes, it's only for the companies.
Okay. VASP or CASP? Do I have to get this MiCA authorization, or can I work as a VASP company?
Considering that still there is like a grandfathering period, so definitely the priority for us, it's licensed institutions. But considering that in some countries it's not even clear how you should apply.
Poland, for example.
I didn't want to name the country, but everybody knows it. And so basically, if you are still in the process or not even in the process, we can consider that cooperation as well. The only thing is that we have to understand your AML controls. If those controls are like compliant and you are doing all the necessary checks, screenings, and everything else, then it's fine for us.
Okay. And normally in Poland, companies used to open bank account in about 2 or 3 hours, and it's quite obvious for Polish companies to set up bank accounts that fast. How long does it take in your bank, this onboarding process? Should I provide you more information? I mean, for example, AML procedure also, and basically, how long does it take to get access to a bank account?
I would say it depends on the customer itself, meaning that if you are cooperating with us, then it will be very fast. Very fast, it's not a couple of hours and a couple of days, of course. But generally, we are also AML and compliance teams there. We are actually very open. And for example, me as responsible for AML compliance, I'm also meeting with the customers and explaining our requirements as well. So it's not that we are working in the silos and there is only managers who are talking. No, we are also talking by ourselves because we try to have this personal approach because it's not regular legal entity. Still, it's like more of working with the third parties funds. And in terms of the onboarding process, then yes, we are requesting AML procedures because definitely you should have them, especially if you are MiCA licensed. Then we are we are checking also your internal processes and systems to understand what kind of transaction rules you have, what kind of setups you have in blockchain analytical tools. Are you screening sanctions? What kind of sanctions are you screening? How the onboarding process is happening in your institution? What kind of information do you request during the onboarding? So if you are planning to obtain MiCA at some point, also in Poland maybe, then you have to have those controls anyways. And we prefer to have those controls to review from the start before we start the cooperation. And then we apply a reliance model. So it means that we are not asking questions on a daily basis about everything. We are relying on what you show to us. Of course, if there's some triggers or potential sanction match or whatever, then we could ask something from you. But if it's everything smooth, then...
In Poland, on the contrary, it's easy to set up a bank account, and it's super easy also to lose this bank account. They just terminate this.
Yeah, it's very easy for Polish companies. Okay, how much does it cost to maintain an account and make outgoing and incoming transactions?
I would say it again depends from the business, like business model of the company. Because if it's like exchange who has a lot of small scale transactions, and it's like
let's say it's a startup or the small company.
Yeah, like I said, it depends on the business model. If you have
let's say it's a small crypto exchange.
If you have a lot of small transactions, then you pay to us per transaction.
Okay.
If you have B2B customers and you have large scale transactions, for example, hundreds of thousands per transaction, then we apply percentage of the transaction. So it depends on the business model. This is what we are discussing during the onboarding process as well. Then we have implemented the minimal invoicing. It means that so we could cover our costs from the compliance and all the sales perspective. Because anyways, maybe if you are not asking you any questions during the cooperation, that there is some controls that we have to do on our side. And yes, it depends, but usually it's starting from like 2,000 per month, and depending on the business, it can go up to like
2,000 euro or dollars?
Euros.
Euro. Okay, but let's say that I just transfer to your bank account to a crypto company to 10,000 euro. And what percentage of the transaction you will get at 0.1%, 1%, or how much? Average.
Maybe we can. This question goes better to sale, but it could be like a more percentage. Like 0.12 or something like that.
Okay, that's great. Do you work only with European companies? I mean, from European Union or European Economic Area, or all over the world?
We work mainly with the European Economic Area. We have some customers who are like outside the EU, maybe from the UK, like Canada or US. But those companies are usually with the limited services, because not all of them has licensing like allowances to work in European Union. They still can have certain customers, because if it's if I want to kind of be served in UK, so UK doesn't prohibit to onboard me unless this company doesn't have any kind of marketing services in the European Union. But it's not our basically priority. Mainly, we are focusing on the European Union with some smaller exceptions.
Okay. How do you treat exposure to higher risk area like P2P, OTC, high risk geographics, or mixers? Because you just said that you are focused mainly on the Europe, but you are giving services also behind the Europe.
Okay. So those higher risk businesses, P2P we actually have already, but it's based in European Union. So something we are doing, but again, it depends on your AML controls, like I mentioned. So we can review. Basically, if you are working in a P2P or OTC, it doesn't mean that we're going to tell you from the start, no, we are not working with you. So we will ask you a couple of questions, we will have discussion, maybe we will have a meeting with you, and then at the end, we're going to decide, are you okay for us, or it's too high risk to onboard you? So it's not that we are saying no from the start. I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And can a cryptocurrency company also deposit cash into its account, or does the bank's AML department not accept this?
Cash, physical cash. Can we?
Physical cash. So we don't have ATMs. This is one thing, but our own ATMs, like we don't have them. But we are not servicing customers at the office in the premise. So it means that a couple of years ago, when we decided to go only B2B in general, we basically closed all the kind of operations with the cash in the bank. Yes, you can always come to the office and we have meeting rooms, we can have discussion, but you cannot bring cash here. However, we had discussion with a certain companies who are crypto ATMs as themselves. And this is quite popular in some countries. If I'm not mistaken, Italy was one of the countries where it's still, they have those ATMs.
We have also a lot of ATMs, crypto ATMs in Poland also.
So yeah, then Poland is also one of the countries where it's quite popular, not only Italy. And so those companies we can also review for potential cooperation for some certain services, like I mentioned, maybe segregated accounts or something like that. It depends but generally it's not that we are saying no to the cash from the start, like I mentioned.
Okay. Why did you decide to exclusively focus on B2B clients, just on business clients, not on individuals? There are plenty of individuals who would like to set up
for example, me
in a crypto-friendly bank to set up account.
Yeah, but there's like different types of the due diligence that have to be applied to the individuals and to legal entities. For example, individuals, you want to have an account in like seconds maybe or minutes to open the account. You want to have a quick customer support service, fast answers, and etc.
Okay.
However, if you look on the business, then of course you want to have a quick service, but you are okay to have a personal touch, personal communication. It's completely different due diligence that have to be applied to the legal entities. So we decided not to keep this part, which is like customer support, like, hey, my internet bank is not working and I cannot how do I log in or whatever. We decided to exclude that part because it's additional resources, additional requirements and etc. So we decided to go only with the businesses because we have a team who knows very good businesses. It's also different type of the transactions that we are having. It's a different type of the approach that we could apply to them, more personal touch, like with the customers. So it's like, that's why we decided to kind of distinguish those two parts.
Okay, and every transaction in your bank is verified manually, or you've got some kind of a system that triggers, that flags some transaction, or how does it look like?
To check everything manually would be overkill, to be honest, because we have quite a lot of transactions per month, and not only like SEPA transactions or SEPA instant, but also like in the card acquiring, there's also like hundreds of thousands of transactions. So it wouldn't be even possible to review each transaction manually. So we have created different tools. One is like to monitor regular transactions, like with the euros. SEPA, for example, transactions. We have a system for monitoring that. And also we have a blockchain analytical tool where we have set specific requirements when and what kind of transactions we would like to review. Also, in terms of the crypto companies, when we're working with the crypto, during the onboarding stage, we review their AML processes, also in terms of the transaction monitoring, including kind of blockchain analytical tool. And if we try to understand whether those rules are according to our requirements. So basically, we don't need to review each transaction and we don't need to do double work. For example, if there is a transaction related to sanctions, yes, maybe we will ask our customer, hey, there was a transaction related to sanctions. How did you review it? And did you get a notification about that? But if there is a larger scale transaction in like, or whatever, we don't do that. It's
okay, so if I'm a crypto company and I'd like to work with you, I need to verify every single transaction by some AML tool. I mean, crypto transaction. Yes, that's I need to show you a proof that I verify everything.
You need to show that you have this tool in place and that actually it's possible to like catch something. But anyways, you have this all the transactions somewhere verified on your side. We don't want to do it on our side. And yes,
so I don't need to pass any proofs immediately. Just after a question. Okay, are you under pressure of the regulator or maybe other banks to cut off a banking system from crypto companies? Because we know in Poland there are some serious pressure to do such moves.
To be honest, we are not under the pressure. And regarding the specifically, if we talk about the regulator of Bank of Latvia, then we had quite extensive discussions with them before we kind of decided to go to this crypto area, because they wanted to know our controls, what we're gonna do, and etc. So basically, we had quite significant discussions with them. We agreed on the rules of the game and how we should serve CASPs and crypto companies. So basically, yeah, we agreed, and they gave us the green light. And also considering that basically in Latvia, Bank of Latvia, they are very active on promoting Latvia as a potential place where to get a MiCA license. And that's why it also goes together with the strategy of the Bank of Latvia that if they are issuing license, it would be nice to have a bank in Latvia where you can actually open an account, because it would be a little bit silly if you have a license in Latvia, but you don't have any bank account who is providing account possibilities and safeguarding of the customer funds in Latvia as well. So that's why we decided to go that way. And actually, if we talk about, we'll continue. If we talk about the Bank of Latvia, then they are actually done a lot. They created sandbox, they created guidelines how to apply. I'm not advertising them, but I'm just telling what I see. They have actually trained themselves, because when we were discussing with them, it was very good discussion that we understood that they actually knows what we are talking about with them. And so that's why.
After a company is onboarded, what behaviors cause problems most often?
Problems?
Yeah. In the process of onboarding.
I would say that if you have all the processes in place and you can properly explain them to us, there shouldn't be any problems.
Okay, but let's say you've got questions from prosecutor almost every month to some kind of a company. Would you terminate this bank account or not?
To be honest, we had one customer where we were receiving a lot of frauds, to be honest, about the customer. But we discussed with the customer, we explained our position, and we discussed what kind of additional controls they should implement on their side. So it doesn't mean that if we see some significant risk that we're gonna close account immediately. No, we are, like I said, personal touch. We're gonna reach out to the customer, try to understand what's the reason for so many issues on their side. If they are not willing or not able to solve them.
So firstly, you just talk with the client, not block his account.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, it's opposite in Poland,
Yeah, definitely opposite in Poland. In Poland, I've got a meeting with one of the bank, and they just said, your client is too risky. We've got too much work with them, too many questions from prosecutors. So please go to another bank. Perfectly if you go just abroad.
Nice. No, we talk to the customer initially, try to understand and maybe try to help solve the issue. If they don't want to solve it, if they are not open to discussion and etc., then they are out.
Okay.
If you could give founders a simple checklist, what they should do, for example, top few things that make onboarding smoothly, what would be do? Just
first is to be able to explain what actually you're doing, your business model. So there is clear understanding what you're doing, and so we could also understand what kind of risks we could face. Then the second thing is that you understand your own risks in the corporation. That is very good. That also, if I'm not mistaken, for the MiCA application, you need to conduct EVRA, like enterprise-wide risk assessment. So you understand what kind of regions you will be working and what kind of, if you're working in specific regions, what are risks are there, and especially also with like your business model in relation. Then, yeah.
Go.
So, yeah.
So I enter to your website, I start onboarding process, and then I just wait for a meeting, yes? For invitation for a meeting.
Yeah, you wait for the invitation, and you will present us your business model, countries, potential customer types, whether it's like individuals or legals.
Offline meeting or online, it's possible also?
It's possible also online. We are in a digital era, so it's like.
Okay, can you tell us monthly how many new clients do you have? So it's 20, 50, 100, also outside of crypto companies, I mean generally.
It's like maybe more around 20 because we are not a very, very large bank. And considering that also there is like fintechs and crypto companies, it's the limited number of them. Definitely, we are working also with the e-commerce customers, so we are onboarding there as well, potential customers. But it's around 20, maybe a little bit more, but not hundreds.
Okay, how do you evaluate the source of funds and source of wealth in the crypto companies that want to create an account in your bank?
We check the source of funds and source of wealth for establishing the company. This is what we are doing. And then in terms of the further with the corporation, we might request about specific customers, what have you done? But we're not going to ask for each customer what is the source of funds for each customer. If we see that, for example, we are asking Maciej, for example, your crypto company, Tomasz, Maciej is your customer, and we ask about source of funds of Maciej. You provide perfectly good information. We are satisfied with that. We just keep you living and doing your job. So that's it. But it depends. We can ask about.
But the limit of checking source of wealth is 50,000 euro. You've got some amount specified, or you cannot tell us right now. When do you start this source of funds process?
It again depends on the business model. If you say that your business model is mainly focused on the individuals, like P2P, and there will be transactions like 500, 2,000 euros or 5,000 euros, and then you have a transaction 100K, then definitely we might ask something because it's like over the limits. But then we could ask if there is some alerts related to sanctions, terrorism, financing, or for example, child abuse. Those three categories are basically, we can ask something even for the small amounts. Okay, not the 0.01.
I'm also interested in that segregation system. Just for the viewers, information for the viewers, crypto companies, they need to segregate clients' funds out of their own funds. So if they get some fee for services, this fee must be on a separate account. Do you see right now that crypto companies, they violate this regulation, that this segregation isn't as clear as it should be?
The ones that we have, they do all the segregation because they've been talking to regulators and they know how it's like happening. We haven't seen in our practice, to be honest, that there's some violations or something like that.
Okay, because companies cannot take this cash and use it for investment, any kind of investment at all. So it's quite good opportunity to earn some money, for example, on the bonds. But I know crypto companies cannot even touch this money, and they seriously don't touch this money.
From our perspective, no. But to be honest, there is one more investment possibility. It's like overnights.
Yeah, okay.
Those overnights you can place. Basically, we are placing these overnights in the deposit for one night, and in the morning this money
Yeah,
comes
I
back.
understand. And what are the interests? What is the earning opportunity for company?
We are sharing this like profit from those interests, and it depends very much on the ECB rate, because it's tied to it. So basically, if ECB rate goes down, then basically the profit from overnights goes down. If ECB rate goes up, then profit goes up.
Okay, do you currently provide any services to crypto companies in Poland? Do you have any client from the Poland right now?
We have, we recently fully onboarded one. They are also kind of, they are actually crypto acquiring company, and we fully onboarded. They are starting operations like now already. Then we have some in the pipeline that are still in the process. Started like late last year. So yeah, we have them in the pipeline.
Okay, will you have PLNs in your bank or only euro related?
We were thinking about joining Polish zlotys, adding Polish zlotys as well. This is still internal discussion for us, and considering that our CEO is also from the Poland, by the way. So we are discussing this, but there's not still like very fast progress in that. But it also depends on the demand. If we will see that there is a demand, we will move faster that way to obtain Polish zlotys as well. But if there's no demand, so for us it's not.
So right now you are focused on the euro.
Yeah.
Okay. I have some kind of question. Is it possible to deposit crypto directly with your bank, or are you planning to offer such services in the future?
You are as an individual transferring crypto to us, yes.
Let's say that Tomek will be a CASP company, and he will need a custody service. Would you be also a CASP? Would you have a CASP authorization as a MagnetiQ?
We are not planning that at the moment. We were actually planning to work with the stable coins, but
USDC?
euros.
Oh,
not USD,
okay.
but euros. But we are still kind of evaluating it, and then in the discussion with the partners to understand also the market necessity for those euro stable coins. But this is something that we are also looking at. And in terms whether we're going to be touching and working directly with the crypto, then the answer at the moment is not really. But in the future, we can consider everything. It depends on the market demand if needed. But we actually are discussing also with the certain partners crypto acquiring in both ways. So one way is that you are paying, for example, buying water with the crypto, and then in the middle between us and you, there is like crypto exchange, and then at the end, the seller of the water gets fiat. Mm-hmm. Then we are also discussing the vice versa, that there is like fiat coming in for the water, and this exchanges, and you and the seller of the water gets crypto at the end, stable coins. So we are discussing with the partners such models as well. So maybe in the nearest future we're going to offer that as well. But again,
so as a bank, you are open for new services and features in the near future. Yeah, it's great. It's great to see, because in Poland they are so close for new features.
Everything is forbidden.
Yeah.
No, but
not working with crypto companies, that's working with a risk,
But that's very funny that everybody talks crypto and the risks. In the e-commerce, we have a high risk license from the Visa and MasterCard. So it means that we can serve also kind of a little bit high risk customers, not only who are selling water. And we were talking with a crypto company recently, and they said that our customers are too high risk for them. Okay. So it was like vice versa, that not we are telling, hey, crypto is high risk for us, but they said that our customers are high risk for them. So we were kind of a little bit surprised. So crypto is not only always about the risks, it depends how you manage those risks and whether you have understanding how to manage those risks. So this is all about that.
Okay, I have a question about the clients like me, not B2B. Are you planning to have services and products for clients in the near future?
For the individuals?
Yeah, individuals.
Individuals, sorry, but not really at the moment, because
you don't even have a plan for individuals.
We don't have a plan for the individuals. No, we are focusing only on the businesses. Like I mentioned before, that it's different controls that basically we don't want to expand the team so much and put additional burden on us. So it's better to work with the businesses and yeah.
Okay, Maciej, do you have any other questions?
No, I think
okay, Sandra. So Sandra, Maciej, thank you for today, and to everyone watching. As you see, the big takeaway is that crypto-friendly is not a promise; it's a process. Sometimes it's a long process. If you want stable banking, you need strange documentation, clear flows, and real compliance. So thank you for joining us. If you found this useful, remember, like, follow, and share. And we'll do more lives like this. So have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Partnerem kanału jest aplikacja Zen. Dzięki niej zyskujesz cashbacki, zwroty za zakupy, dodatkową gwarancję na elektronikę, a także łatwo wypłacisz krypto z giełd takich jak Binance, Bybit czy BitGet. Z kodem MBZEN masz aż 5 miesięcy planu Pro za darmo. Link znajdziesz w opisie wideo, a kod wpisz podczas rejestracji. Zen to prosty sposób, żeby ogarnąć finanse i kryptowaluty. Polecam.